Okay, question 1. Work out -3 plus -8. So here we can get rid of the first plus, because subtracting, if you're adding a negative, it's the same as just taking it away. So it's -3 minus 8. So what are we going to get here? We're going to get minus 11. Okay, so that's question 1. Q2. What does the longest bar in a bar chart represent? Circle your answer. So let's imagine we have a bar chart like this, and we want to talk about the longest one, this one here. So what is this telling us? Okay, let's go through each one and try to work it out. So is it the mean? The mean is the average, isn't it? So that would mean we would be adding every bar together and dividing it by how many? So it's not the mean. Is it the median? Okay, the median is the one in the middle. So let's add some more data here just to make it look a bit better. So the median would be the one in the middle, which would be this one. So it's not the tallest one, is it? So it can't be the median. Okay, is it the mode? Okay, the mode is the one with the most choices. So the mode will be the tallest one. So it is the mode. Okay, that's question 2 done. Work out 1.1 minus 0.15. Circle your answer. Okay, so let's try to split this up. So we've got 1.1 minus 0.15. So we can do this by splitting this into 0.1 and 0.05. And then we can do the subtraction separately. So 1.1 minus 0.1. What does that give you? That will leave you with just 1. But now we've got to remember to subtract this bit. So now we need to do 1 minus 0.05. And that is going to give you 0.95. So the answer is this one. Okay, question 4. On a circle, which of these is always longer than a diameter? Circle your answer. Okay, so let's draw a circle and label all the points we know. So let's do the diameter first. So this one here, from one edge to the other through the middle, this is the diameter. So let's call that one D. Okay, what is an arc? Okay, so an arc will be any point like this. So if you go from one point on the circumference to another point on the circumference, okay, so that will be the arc. What is the radius? Okay, the radius is going to be from the center to the edge. Okay, so this one here, from the middle to the edge, that one is the radius. And a chord. Okay, a chord is a straight line from 2 points on the circle, like this. Okay, so this one would be a chord. And then the last one is the circumference. So the circumference is the distance all the way around the circle. Okay, the distance all the way around. So let's see. The question says, on a circle, which of these is always longer than the diameter? So the diameter is this one. So which one of these is always longer? So which one is longer than the diameter? So it's going to be the one where you go all the way around the circle. So it's going to be the circumference. Question 5. Work out 83 times 26. Okay, so let's do our box method, because this is the easiest way to do it without making mistakes. So we're going to do 83 times 26. So we're going to split it up into 80 and 3. So 80 and 3, and then the top bit we're going to split into 20 and 6. And now we just multiply across, and then we're going to add at the end. So what's 80 times 20? So 8 times 2 is 16, and then we've got to put our zeros back on. So we're going to get 1600. Then 80 times 6, well, that will be 480. And then 20 times 3, that's 60. 6 times 3 is going to be 6, 12, 18. Okay, and now we just need to add these together. So we're going to do 1600 plus 480 plus 60 plus 18. So add the columns, so you're going to get 8. Add the columns here, so you've got 8 plus 6 plus 1, you're going to get 15. Carry the 1. 6 plus 4 plus 1 is going to be 11, so you need to carry the 1 again, and then 1 plus 1 equals 2. So your answer is 2,158. Done. Question 6. The cost of 3 calendars is £18. Work out the cost of 5 calendars. Okay, so first, if we know 3 calendars is £18, we want to work out the cost of 1 calendar. So let's say 1 calendar is going to be 18 over 3. So what does that give us? 18 divided by 3 is going to be 6. So 1 calendar costs £6, but we want to know 5 calendars. So we're going to have to do £6 times 5 calendars is going to give us 30. So 5 calendars costs £30. Okay, question 7. A helicopter blade does 3,206 full turns in 7 minutes. Work out the number of full turns per minute. Okay, so this is a division question. So we're going to be doing 3,206 divided by 7. So we want to put our 7 here, and we want to use the long division method. So we can do 3,206. So let's look at the first digit, the 3 here. So does 7 go into 3? No, it doesn't. So we're going to have to look at both of these. Does 7 go into 32? It does. How many times? It goes into it 4 times, doesn't it? So it goes into it 4 times. So we're going to put, then we're going to do 7 times 4, that gives you 28, and we're going to minus the 28 from the 32. So what's that going to give us? That's going to give us 4, isn't it? Okay, next step. Okay, next step. We need to carry this 0 down to the next line. Okay, so now we're going to do 7 into 40. Does this go? So 7 goes into 40 5 times, doesn't it? And then we can put a 35 on the bottom, because 7 times 5 is going to give you 35. Okay? So now we're going to do 40 minus 35, which is going to give us 5. And then we're going to carry this 6 all the way to the bottom. And now does 7 go into 56? How many times does it go into 56? It goes into it 8 times, doesn't it? So we can put the 8 up here, and then we are done. Our answer is 458. Question 8. At a cinema, films are shown on screen 1 and screen 2. Customers pay full price or child price. There are 3 times as many customers in screen 2 as screen 1. And 68 customers paid child price. Complete the frequency tree. Okay, so we know there's 2 screens, screen 1 and screen 2. And those are here, screen 1, screen 2. It says customers pay full price or child price. Okay, that makes sense. There are 3 times as many customers in screen 2 as screen 1. So 3 times in screen 2 as in screen 1. So if there's 87 in screen 1, how many will be in screen 2? So we need to do 87 over 3, don't we? So what's 87 divided by 3? Okay, we can use the other method we had before, which we used on the other side. Or let's do a trick here. So what is 90 divided by 3? 90 divided by 3 is going to be 30, isn't it? So using this, can we work out what 87 over 3 is going to be? So we want to get rid of 3 from our whole thing, so the answer is going to be 29. So if there's 87 in screen 1, in screen 2, there's 87 in screen... Wait, what? How I got this the wrong way around. Okay, it says there are 3 times as many customers in screen 2 as screen 1. Ah, okay, this is not right. Okay, so we want to times it by 3, don't we? We want to times by 3, not divide by 3, my bad. So we want to do 87 times 3. Okay, we can use our grid method. Let's split 87 into 80 and 7, and then times it by 3. What's 80 times 3? So do 8, 16, 24. And then add your 0 on the end. 3 times 7 is 7, 14, 21. Add them together. So 240 plus 21 is going to be 261. Okay, so we know there's 261 people in screen 2. Okay, we also know 68 customers paid child price. So we've got children and children. So when we add these two together, we're going to get 68. So we know the total amount of children is 68. So how can we work out this missing number here? We're going to have to do 68 minus the children in screen 1. So we're going to do 68 minus 15, which is going to give you what? 53, I believe. So there's 53 children in screen 2. Okay, now we just need to find this one and this one. So let's do screen 1 first. So we need to find how many people are in the screen. So we know there's 87 in total and 15 are children. How many adults will there be? So we're going to do 87 minus 15. What are we going to get? So 87 minus 15 should give you 72. And then we're going to do the same for this one. We're going to have to do 261 people in total minus the children, and that should give you 208. Okay, we're almost finished. Now we just need to work out the total amount of people in the cinema. So we've got 87 people in screen 1, 261 in screen 2. Let's add them together. So we're going to get 261 plus 87. So we're going to get 80. Do this one first. You're going to do the column. So you get 8 plus 6 plus 8 gives you 14. Carry the 1. You're going to get 348. And we are done. All of that for 5 marks. Good job, people. Okay, question 9. Work out a fraction that is halfway between half and 1/4. Okay, and we're given this number line to help us. So let's label on where a half is. So a half is going to be here, isn't it? So that's 1/2. And where is 1 and 1/4? So that will be here. So we want to work out the fraction that's halfway between them. So halfway between them is going to be here, isn't it? Okay, so we want to find what is this point. So how about we split this number line into lots of little chunks. So if this is 1, 1 is here, 0 is here. Okay, so how many little chunks do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the bit we want is 7 across. So we know the fraction is therefore going to be 7 out of 8. And that's our answer. Okay, question 10. X is a positive integer. And 35 divided by x is also a positive integer. Work out the 4 possible values of x. Okay, so x is a positive integer. So integer just means a full number, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so work out the 4 possible values of x. So let's see. So we could do 35 divided by 1. Okay, what would that give us? 35 divided by 1 equals 35. Is 35 an integer? Yes. So we can write that. What else could we do? We could do 35. Think of the numbers which divide 35. Let's write them down. So we can divide 35 by what? So we've got 35 times 1 gives us 35. What else could we do? We could do 5 times 7 gives us 35, doesn't it? Is there any more? I don't think so, no. So we could do 35 divided by 35, which is going to give us 1, so that's one of our answers. We could also do 35 divided by 5, that gives us 7, so 7 is an answer, and 35 divided by 7 gives us 5, and that's our last answer. There we go. That's 4 integers which give you the value of x. Okay, question 11. A fair dice has 6 sides, numbered 1 to 6. After it is rolled, 5 of the numbers can be seen. Write down the probability that one of these 5 numbers is 2. Okay, so how many possible ways can it land? So how many outcomes are there? There's 6, isn't there? And how many of these numbers can you see? You can see 5 of them, can't you? So the probability that one of these 5 numbers is going to be 6, because the bottom is the total amount of outcomes. Okay, so there's 6 numbers on the dice, so any 6 of those could be the bottom number which it lands on. And then 5 is going to be the total number of successful outcomes. So successful outcomes. Because we want 2 to be seen, so 2 has to be one of the numbers which isn't on the bottom. So there's 5 ways of getting that, so 5 will be on the top. Okay, 11b. Work out the greatest possible number, the greatest possible sum of the 5 numbers. Okay, so how can we do this? So we want the numbers we can see on the dice to add up to the highest amount. That means, what do we want the dice to land on? Or what number do we want on the bottom which we can't see? So let's draw a picture. So we've got our dice like this, haven't we? And this is the one we can't see. Can't see the bottom one, can we? So we're adding all the numbers on the faces. So we're adding. So we want these numbers here to be as big as possible. Therefore, we want the number we can't see to be small. Okay? So the smallest number on the dice is a 1. So let's put the 1 on the bottom, and we can't see it. So that means these numbers on the top are going to be the big numbers. So we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And all we're going to do is add them together. So adding them together, we are going to get 20. So our answer is 20. Okay, question 12. Work out 2 over 7 plus 6 over 7. Circle your answer. Okay, so for these ones, when we're adding fractions, you just add the top and leave the bottom the same. So the bottom's going to be 7, the top is going to be 2 plus 6, which is going to be 8. And then let's look. Which one of these is the same as 8 over 7? So this is an improper fraction, so it's too heavy on the top. So what we can do is we can split it up. So we can split it up to 1. Well, let's split it up into 2 fractions first. So we've got a 7 over 7, and what else do we need to make this complete? We're going to need a 1 over 7, aren't we? And then we can simplify 7 over 7. That can go to 1 plus 1 over 7. So which one of these is it? It's going to be this one here, isn't it? 1 over 7. Okay, question 13. Work out 4 plus 3 times 5 minus 1. Work out your answer. Okay, so here we're going to be using BOD mass. So it's brackets, order, divide, multiply, addition, subtract. Or you can say bid mass is one, isn't it? I've got that wrong. Bid mass. So sometimes people say brackets, indices, divide, multiply, addition, subtraction. So we need to do our multiplication first. So let's write it out. So we can do 4 plus 3 times 5 minus 1. And we're going to do this first. So that's the same as 4 plus, what's 3 times 5? It's 15 minus 1. And now it doesn't matter what order we do it in, because addition and subtraction it'll all cancel out anyway, so we're going to end up with 18. Done. Okay, question 15. Trapezium ABCE is made from parallelogram ABCD and isosceles triangle ADE. AE equals DE. Okay, so what do we know about... Okay, we want to work out AED, which is this one. So what do we know about this angle here? So angles in a straight line add up to what? They add up to 180, don't they? So we know 110 plus question mark has to be 180. So we can do 180 minus 110 is going to give us 70. So we know this angle here is 70. So we know angles which are opposite are the same. So we know this one is 110, and we know this one up here is 70. And then using the same logic as before, we know that this one's going to be 70 because angles on a straight line like this have to add up to 180. Okay, and we also know that AE is equal to DE, which means that these two angles here are going to be the same. So that's going to be 70. And now, lastly, we need to know that angles in a triangle add up to what? So angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we know 180 is going to equal this angle, let's call it X. So angle X plus 70 plus 70. So let's simplify. So 180 is equal to, add 70 and 70, 140 plus X. 180, we're going to move the 140 to the other side. So 180 minus 140 equals X. X equals what? X equals 40. And we are done. Okay, question 16. We are doing ratios here. A to B equals 1/6, or sorry, 1 to 6. AC equals 3 to 1. Okay, how many times bigger is B than C? So we want to find out the relationship between B and C. That means we need to make the A the same. So we need to make this 1 into a 3 to make them the same. So what we're going to do is times this first row by 3. So we're going to get A to B is equal to, well, we're going to times both sides by 3. We're going to get 3 to 18. And then AC is equal to 3 to 1. So we can still write that. AC is equal to 3 to 1. So how many times bigger is B than C? So now we can look at the relationship between them. How many times bigger is B than C? So C equals 1, B equals 18, therefore B is 18 times bigger. 18 times bigger. Question 17b. Laura also wants to work out 30 over 29 of 60. Her answer is 58. Is her answer correct? No. How do we know it's not correct? So 30 over 29. The top number is bigger, isn't it? So what does that mean? That means the answer will be bigger than 60. So we can write answer should be bigger than 60 because 30 is bigger than 29. Okay, done. Question 17a. Laura wants to work out 3% of 1700. Her method is 1700 times 0.3. Is her method correct? Tick a box. 3%? I don't think so. So 0.3 is not 3%. 0.3 is 30%. So we're going to pick no. Give a reason for your answer. That's your reason there. So we could also say 3% is equal to 0.03, and that would be correct. Okay, done. Okay, question 18. So I've drawn out the shapes just to remind you of what they are. So in the Venn diagram, we want to put these shapes. So epsilon is the set of all shapes. Q is the set of all quadrilaterals, or Q is the set of quadrilaterals. R is the set of shapes which have rotational symmetry. So A is a parallelogram. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. Does it have rotational symmetry? If you rotate it halfway, it will be the same. So yes, it does. So we can put that in the middle. Okay, B is a regular pentagon. Is it a quadrilateral? No. Does it have rotational symmetry? Yes. So let's put that in here. C is a rhombus. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. Does it have rotational symmetry? Yes. So that can go in here. D is a scalene triangle. Is it a quadrilateral? No. Does it have rotational symmetry? No. So that can go here. E is a trapezium. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. Does it have rotational symmetry? No. So E goes here. And we are done. Okay, question 19. A equals 7 and B equals 2. Work out the value of A over B minus A to the power of B. So what we want to do here is substitute in our A and our B into here. So if A, what's A? A is 7, so we can write 7 over B, and B is 2. So 7 over 2 minus A to the power of B, where A is 7 and B is 2. So A is 7 and B is 2. So let's simplify this. So we're going to get 7 over 2 simplifies to 3.5 minus 7 squared. So that's 7 times 7. So remember, 7 squared equals 7 times 7. 7 times 7 equals 49. And now we're going to do, well, what can we do here? 3.5 minus 49, you're going to get, what are you going to get? You're going to get 45.5 minus 45.5. Okay, question 20. 3x minus 8 equals 19. So what can we do here to solve for x? Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to move this minus 8 to the other side. So we can add 8 to both sides. So we're going to get 3x equals 19 plus 8. Simplify gives us 19 plus 8 equals 27. So 3x equals 27. Now we want to bring this 3 over to this side, and we need to divide this time, because it's really 3 times x, isn't it? So we need to divide to get it onto the other side. So we're going to do x equals 27 over 3. 27 divided by 3 equals 9, so x equals 9. We are done. Okay, question 21. Here are 5 number cards. 2 of the 5 cards are picked at random. Work out the probability that the total of the 2 numbers is more than 30. So we can do this by listing the outcomes. So let's make a table to show what we're doing. So let's list the cards on top. So we've got, let's just write them out. So we've got 17, 12, 23, 15, and 16. And then down the side we're going to have the same numbers, aren't we? So it's 17 plus 12, 23, 15, and 16. Alright, so now we've got a table of our outcomes. And now we want to work out every probability, or every outcome. So what's 17 plus 17? That's 34. 17 plus 12, 29. 17 plus 23 is 40. 32, 33. 29. Actually, we can save ourselves some work. You can't pick the same card twice, can you? So you can't pick the 17 card and then pick the 17 card again. So that means we can get rid of all the columns down the middle. That will save us some work. Also, we can see it will reflect, so we're only going to do 1/2 of this. So 12 plus 23 gives you 35. 12 plus 15 gives you 27. 12 plus 16 gives you 28. Next one is 15 plus 23, that gives you 38. Next one is 23 plus 16, that gives you 39. Last one is 16 times 15. That will give you what? 16 plus 15 is 31. Okay, we can actually, that's all the adding we need to do because this table will reflect. So let's just look at these numbers. So how many of these are bigger than 30? Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 are bigger than 30, but we're looking for a probability. So we need to divide it by how many there are. So we're going to do 7 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our answer is 7 out of 10. Okay, question 22. Complete the table of values for y equals x squared. Okay, so if x is minus 2, we want to square it to get y. So what is minus 2 squared? So you're doing minus 2 times minus 2, so that will give you 4. So same thing for y. What's minus 1 times minus 1? You're going to get 1. Next one is going to be 0 times 0, 0. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, draw the graph of y equals x squared from values of x from minus 2 to 2. So we're just plotting these. So let's see. Let's start here. So x is 2, y is 4. So x is 2 is here, y is 4 is here. Next one, 1, 1. 1, 1. Next one, 0, 0. Minus 1, 1. Last one's going to be minus 2, 4. So now we need to join these up with a smooth curve. Okay, you have to use a smooth curve. It's got to be better than mine because I'm using a computer and it's hard to draw. So make sure your curve is nice and smooth. Okay, C. Use your graph to estimate the value of the square root of 2.6. Okay, so the square root of 2.6. So we want to find 2.6 on the y-axis. So 2.6 is going to be about here, isn't it? 2.6, and then we want to go across to here, and then go down, 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 down to there. So what is this bit? It looks like it's about 1.7, and that's our answer for 22. Okay, 23. Two consecutive whole numbers are n and n plus 1. Simplify. N minus n plus 1. Okay, so we want to get rid of this bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to get n minus n, because we've got a minus here, and then this minus takes over this plus. So we're going to get minus 1. So what is n minus n? That goes to 0, so it's 0, 0 minus 1 equals 1. Done. Okay, multiply out n times n plus 1. So we're going to get n times n and n times 1. So we're going to get n times n equals n squared, n times 1 equals n. So we can get n squared plus n. The two numbers are added. Show that the answer must be an odd number. Okay, so it's two consecutive whole numbers are n and n plus 1. So we're going to have two consecutive numbers must be odd and then even, mustn't they? Or even and then odd. So let's say, so we're going to say assume even then odd. So the even number is going to be n, okay? And then the odd number is going to be n plus 1. It says the two numbers are added, show that the answer must be an odd number. Okay, so we're adding these numbers together. So this is going to go to 2 n plus 1, and n is an even number. Okay, if n is even, that means 2n plus 1 must be odd. Okay, because 2 times n is even, so adding 1 on is going to make it odd. Okay, so that's 23 done. But we need to write one more sentence. So if 2 times n is even, then 2 times n plus 1 is odd. Okay, done. Okay, question 24. Circle the value of cos 30 degrees. Okay, this is just easier to memorize than to do any calculation. So we know that is going to be root 3 over 2. So just memorize that one. Okay, question 25. Work out 8.5 divided by 2 2/3. Give your answer as a mixed number. Okay, so what we're going to do is convert both of these into improper fractions. So 8.5 can be written as, well, it can be written as 17 over 2. And then divided by, how can we change this into an improper fraction? That will be 8 over 3. Okay, so this is the sum we want to do, but we've got one more trick. What we can do is we can change it into a multiplication by flipping these two round. So putting the top one on the bottom and the bottom one on the top. So we're going to get 17 over 2 times by 3 over 8. And then this is an easier problem to solve. We just multiply the top, multiply the bottom. So we're going to get 51 over 16, and we're almost done. It just says it wants it as a mixed number. So we can split this up into 48 over 16 plus 3 over 16. Then this one simplifies to 3 plus 3 over 16. And that's our answer. We are done. 3 3/16. Okay, question 26. A ship is sailing in a straight line from its home port. The distance time graph shows 4 hours of the journey. Work out the speed of the ship during these 4 hours. So, from here to here, he's been travelling for 4 hours. And from here to here, we want to work out the distance. So, let's see. Let's be careful here. It's not 120, it is just below. And then this one is here. So let's write down the numbers. So this one is 48 miles, and then this top one is 100 and it looks like 116. So we need to do 116 minus 48, and this is going to tell us the distance he's traveled. So 116 minus 48 is 68, and now we need to work out the speed. So we know speed equals distance over time, so we're going to put in our distance and our time, which we know. So we know his distance is 68, and we know he's been travelling for 4 hours. 68 over 4 equals 17. So the answer is 17 miles per hour. Okay, question 27. Kim works at an airport in the UK. She records the number of planes landing between 10 AM and 2 PM every day, and the table shows the data. So we've got the days here, number of planes here. The airport was affected by fog on one of the days. Which day do you think it was? Give a reason for your answer. So we want to look at all of the data here. So which one of these looks different? So they all look about 150, except this one here, which is 102, which is much lower. So what day is that? That is day 8, and we need to give a reason. So why do we think this is the day which was affected by fog? So we can say because there are far fewer planes than the other day. Okay, 27b. Kim uses the data to predict how many planes will land at the airport in a year. In her method, she uses an estimate of 150 planes in each 4-hour period during the day and assumes the same number of planes in each day. Okay, so there's 150 planes in each 4-hour period. So how many hours in a day? So there's 24 hours in a day and each 4-hour period. So how many of these 4-hour periods are we going to have? So we're going to do 24 over 4, which is going to give us 6. So there's 6 periods per day. Okay, so how many planes does that equate to each day? So we're going to do 6 times 150, because in each period there's 150 planes, and that means we're going to have to times it by 6. And that's going to give us 900. Yeah, and now this is planes per day, so we need to do how many planes in a year. So we're going to have to do 900 times 365. So we can split this up into our box method, can't we? So we can do 900 times 300, 900 times 60, and 900 times 5. So 9 times 3 is 91827, so that's going to be 270,000. 900 times 60, that's 9 times 6, which is 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. Then add the zeros on. And then 5 times 9 is going to be 45 with 2 zeros. So now we need to add them. So 270,000 plus 54,000 plus 4,500. So what we're going to get? We're going to get 0, 0, 5, 8, 2, carry the 1, and a 3. So our answer is going to be 328,500. 27C. In fact, fewer planes land in winter than in summer. Fewer planes land at night than during the day. What does this tell you about Kim's prediction? Tick one box. So we've got her prediction is too low, her prediction is too high, or her prediction could be too low or too high. Okay, let's look at this sentence. Fewer planes land in the winter than in summer. So, when is she taking her survey? So she's taking her survey in January. So that means her data will be lower for now. So her data is going to be lower than average, or lower than normal. And she took her survey between 10 AM and 2 PM, which is during the day, isn't it? So fewer planes land at night than during the day, and she's taken her survey during the day, so this is going to make her data higher. So it could make her overall data higher or lower. So we're going to take this one. Her prediction could be too low or too high. So let's write a sentence. So let's say this one could make it lower. I can't be bothered to write the whole sentence, so you should do that. So fewer planes land in the winter than in summer could make it lower. And then fewer planes land at night than during the day. That could make it higher. And we are done. Okay, the sum of any angles in a quadrilateral is 360. For example, in a rectangle, 4 times 90 degrees equals 360. Zach writes 5 times 90 degrees equals 450. So the sum of any angles in a pentagon must be 450 degrees. Is he correct? Clearly not. Why is that? Show some working to support your answer. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a pentagon and compare it to a square. Okay, so square is a quadrilateral. Each of these angles are 90, aren't they? And let's draw a pentagon to compare it to. Okay, so this is our pentagon. So let's look at these angles. So the angles in the pentagon are bigger, aren't they? Angles in our pentagon are bigger than 90 degrees. So what can we say? So the sum of any angles in a pentagon must be 450 degrees. Okay, and there's 5 of them. So we're going to say, so the angles in a pentagon are bigger than 90 degrees. So the smallest would be 90 times 5 equals 450. But that is the smallest possible angle because we said they're bigger. So any number bigger than 90 is going to make your angles in a pentagon bigger than 450. So what can we write? So we can say 90 times 5 equals 450 is true. but the angles in a pentagon must be bigger than 90 degrees. So he is wrong. Done. Okay, question 29. Square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared equals the cube root of 125 times a cubed. Work out the value of a. So let's sort out the middle first. Let's sort out this bit. So the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared. What's 6 squared? That's 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 8 times 8, which is 64, is equal to the cube root of 125a cubed. So let's simplify this side. This can go to square root of 100 equals the same thing. Cube root of 125a cubed. Square root of 100, what's that? Square root of 100 is 10. So 10 is equal to the cube root of 125a cubed. Okay, let's start working on this side. Let's bring it up to here. So what we can do now is we can distribute the cube root over everything. So we've got 10 is equal to the cube root of 125 times by the cube root of a cubed. Okay, so now we can take, what's the cube root of 125? That's going to be 5. What's the cube root of a? What's the cube root of a cubed? That's going to be a. So now we need to move this 5 to the other side. So we're going to get 10 over 5 equals a. Therefore, a equals 2. And that is your answer. A is 2. Okay, question 30. Work out the percentage increase from 80 to 280. So for percentage increase, we need to take the bigger number, well, the number we're starting with, and then minus what we want to take the number we finished with and minus the number we started with. So we're going to do 280 minus 80 is going to give us 200. And now we are going to divide that by 80. So 200 over 80 is the same as what? It's the same as 20 over 8, which is the same as 2.5. And this is not a percentage increase here. This is a multiplication increase. So now we need to times 2.5 by 100, which is going to give us 250%, which is our answer. Okay, question 31, last question. Solve x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to find two numbers that times together to give you minus 12. And two numbers which add together to give you minus 1. So let's think this through. What numbers times together to give you minus 12? So minus 12, what are the factors? So we could have minus 3 and 4. What else could we have? We could have minus 4 and 3. We could have minus 12 and 1. What else is there? We could have minus 1 and 12, and then there's two more sets. We could have 6 and minus 2, and we could have minus 6 and 2. So these are the factors of minus 12. So we want to choose the set of these that is going to add together to give minus 1. So which set of these numbers add together to give you minus 1? And the answer is these ones. So minus 4 plus 3 gives you minus 1. So that means we can factorize this into two different factors. So it's going to be x and the x in both of them, and one of them is going to have a minus 4 from here, and the other one is going to have a plus 3. And now we're almost done. So and this is going to equal 0. So we can separate this into two equations, into x minus 4 equals 0 from this side. Then from the other side, we're going to take x plus 3 equals 0. So this first one, what is x? You're going to have to move your 4 to the other side, so that one's going to give you x equals 4. And the other one, you're going to have to move this 3 over to here, so you're going to get x equals minus 3. And we are done.